Hello, everybody. So, tomorrow is Thanksgiving in America, so I thought, what better way to celebrate than to play some Ottoman Empire? Because I know that the Turks absolutely hate it whenever I make the turkey pun. So, here we are, playing with Kaiserreich, playing with the state transfer tool, but not the peace deal mod. For the very simple reason that it's in Back for Blood, and the peace deals are a bit funky. Last time I played Kaiserreich, I was playing as Poland, and we had gotten to a game-breaking bug that caused us to just end the game there, but that was after 3 hours, so it worked pretty well. Before that, I was playing Union of Britain, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with that series, because I tried to do the manual download to get the old version so I could continue it. Didn't work. I think I need to get rid of these files first and then do it, but until then, I suppose we'll be playing as the Ottoman Empire. I think that is perfectly fine. So, Ottoman Empire in Kaiserreich. We have pretty much almost all the territories from before the war. We got Qatar, Bahrain, and a bit of Abu Dhabi from the British, as well as Yemen being whole instead of being split up between Yemen and Aden. We never lost the territories. We have this, the Mustafrit of Jerusalem, which controls the Suez Canal. We got Egypt on our border, which still wants a piece of us. We got Persia, whoever the winner of the Arabian War is going to be, and maybe the Emirate of Cyrenaica is going to come after us. And also, I think I preferred where I had the audio before, because the music's kind of coming up on me. I got both the earphones in. It's getting a little loud for my tastes. We have, let's see, in the Ottoman Empire, what we got? Stability of the realm, minus 32, but garrison penetration and damage to garrison. What the hell is penetration chance? What on earth is that? I didn't even know that was a thing. But apparently at the cost of stability, I get a little bit of that. We got institutionalized Islam. Political power down by 35%, but stability up. I guess that helps. Widespread illiteracy. We can't fucking read. You got it. Armed neutrality for recruitable population factor, and war support down, but stability up. And division on core. We can't declare our own wars, at least not until we get rid of that. Fair enough. Fair enough. We got national focus trees, of which, let's see, we got Samson, something. 4 years of progress, raised tariffs. I don't exactly know the different routes to take with the Ottomans. I know that if you lose the war in the desert, you can become Turkey. But assuming we win, and hopefully we do win, I don't think we get to become that. We have one option. We can expand the education ministry. Failure to push through the education decree will have severe consequences. Oh, shit. Oh boy, that's lovely. That's lovely right there. Research slots. Well, suppose we can figure that out later. We got 3, so we got what? Industry, Army, plus Air Force and Navy, maybe? Does my Navy need that much? I mean, we're kind of a superpower for the region. I doubt that Egypt has any good ships. Or Persia, but we wouldn't have a fleet that can contest the Persian Navy. That's kind of our issue. Even though we do control the Suez Canal, we got the Black Sea, the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, and the Persian Gulf. Howdy, it's all good now. My internet just went, I see you're having a good Thanksgiving Eve. Anybody have good plans for Thanksgiving? Assuming you're American? If you're not, then this stream is not for you. Not kidding. Maybe I can't decide what I want with my audio. Game options, audio again. I think maybe master up, music down, but master up, ambience up, voice up, effects up, because that's what I really want. I want the music to be as low as possible in case there's any copyrighted anything in there. But I do love those ambient sounds. Ooh, that might be too much. Chunk chunk. I'm thinking maybe some basic machining tools. Yeah, okay, that might be too much. I cannot stop it with the audio mixing. Was that effects? That might be effects. Effects, ambience, and voice, I'm perfectly okay with leaving high. Let's go with that. So that'll be my industry, my army, tech. Well, we're pretty... Ooh, we don't have a good air force. Good to know. We don't have a modern air force, at least. We don't have any modern anti-tank guns, but how many tanks are we planning to find in the desert? Got a perfectly okay tank, light tank arm. Although without any good guns, we could throw on some auto cannons. We lack trucks. Okay. Trucks are pretty important. I'm going to get a truck for the army. And for the Navy side of things, they'll be mostly set to research. In terms of Navy, we got the use of Sultan Selim, which I believe was a German battlecruiser that was gifted to the Ottomans in order to entice them to join the Central Powers during the First World War. Don't know what type, but in this current configuration, it has all forward guns, even though in the picture it clearly has 2 forward, 2 aft. But we'll just ignore that because ships are kind of... Ships are not exactly how they would be in the real life. Let's just put it that way. That's always been the case ever since Man the Guns. It was Man the Guns DLC that added the shipbuilder. So that's fine. We got civilian factories, 19 that we can use. We got 8 total taken up by consumers. So that leaves 11 for our own personal uses. Obviously, I want our agency so we can spy on the Egyptians. They're the main threat. It's funny that they're the main threat, even though the real big line is against Persia, but they're pretty weak. And then whoever wins in Arabia. What do you consider? You're an emirate, which is what kind of vassal? Ottoman lapdogs. Well, we would like you to win the war against Najd. We would like that. In here, 5 out of 9. Oh yeah, I still need to spend the rest. Oh, buddy, we have some bad... Oh, we got some real bad infrastructure, huh? Anywhere that has a lot of spaces left open, I guess over here in Adrianople, I could maybe throw in some... What is it? Some infrastructure, fuel capacity, civilian economy. Maybe start by building some infrastructure over in Adrianople. Get it on par with Istanbul. Or I guess it's still called Constantinople because without the... Yeah. Since we never lost the war, it's still Constantinople. There's also this thing, which is the Valence. Centralized, decentralized, autonomous states. Authority held by the Ottoman center over its vast empire differs greatly from province to province, held back from strong local governments in the distance of the capital. Okay. Interesting. I don't know how that'll play into this. I got 5 of 9. I'm building a real shitty airplane, which is the HER X-14, the HER 14, and then the A-35 Yezel Bursa. That's our small wing, and that's that. Well, clearly we're going to need some close air support. That's just important. I don't have any tank forces. I'll need to build those up. I would like to build up trains. I would like to build up anti-tank, anti-air guns in case I need that. Get an email from Yahoo. And then I definitely need more guns. I'm definitely going to need more guns. In here, I don't need to build more. I don't need to build a bigger navy. Just hold off on that for now. Oh, geez, that was a lot. But everybody in single army, let's see what we got here. We got the Musayif Payada Fricassee, which is, okay, decent sized garrison unit. Got it. We got the Sultan Fricassee. Fricassee must just be division. Again, pretty normal cavalry division. You, very standard triangular infantry division. And the Draka Furka. Again, pretty standard. Nothing special there. Nothing interesting. I have 300,000 manpower. I could throw in... I'm thinking of throwing in more of those garrison divisions because they're weak, but they're plentiful. Maybe throw in a few of those. Now in here I need... Oh, buddy. We need troops. Mostly just troops to kind of garrison everything, right? I need an Arabian theater, a Levant theater, a Mesopotamian theater. I need a theater right here and a Balkan theater, as well as an Anatolian sector. Or sectors in the or anything else. So let's start here. You'll split off. Or maybe you should stay as the only ones that stay there. How about these guys split off? These guys split off. You all split off. In here, the Levant, you count you into the Anatolian, you into the Levant forces, you into the Arabian forces, and these ones into the Tripolitanian forces. That'll be the situation as it stands. Now each force, you are in charge of the capital. How many? We have 3 field marshals we can use. Loyal to the Sultan, and one is an OHF member, which is Mustafa Fezi Pasha. Where do you think Ataturk is this time? Is he one of the generals? No, he's not in there. Got a lot of Pashas, though. I'm thinking you split off. You in the Anatolian sector, you split off. You split off. You split off. It's going to get very confusing very fast. You split off. You split off. You split off. Okay, now we got 6. You definitely get your own theater. This is going to be Africa, I guess. And you're going to be a secondary theater, so don't even worry about it, dog. Don't even trip, dog. This will be split off. You, the 7th Army. Anybody good in here? We got lots of desert foxes. A lot of... You get secondary pickings. I'll go through the other forces first. You... Probably an army for down here against Yemen, but also protect Mecca, the important city, mashallah. Then probably some troops up here to protect the Sinai border, and then maybe one around here in Medina. More or less just protect all of the nodes, all of the supply nodes. We can have troops around the supply nodes. That'll be the basic battle plan there. So we'll have 1 troop. Maybe 2 for up there. You take a force there, and then you... I suppose maybe even just join up with that army. Oh, you're the 9th Army. You, look after... Amman, Aita, and Damascus, and Beirut, maybe? That's your big plan, at least. You know what's interesting? We don't have an option, because I never built it in, for specifically guard supply hubs. There's victory points, naval bases, coastline, air bases, ports, and supply hubs and railway. But I don't want to protect the railway. I want to protect the supply hubs. I could care less about the railways. Just focus on that for now. That'll be the 3 we need anyway. You can all stay in a single army because you're pretty much close enough together. Oh wait, you break off. You'll be guarding Nicosia. You'll be the 6th Army. Over here, we got troops for Basra. We got troops for Baghdad. We got troops for Mosul. That's pretty much exactly what you guys should be broken up as. And then, let's see. You can have your own force. This is Arabia. Or I suppose, more or less... What would you call it? Hijaz, I think? Hijaz? The Hijaz Railway? think that's what it is. Hejaz. You and your army. I'll probably pull some of these troops together. Like maybe the Hejaz, Levant forces. Put them all together into one forces later, but for now, for ease, Levant. You... This theater will be the Mesopotamia. I think I got it right. Up here, these troops. Maybe too many theaters. This is going to be... more or less just Turkey, the homeland of the Turks. That'll do for there. Your army will take care of this to where we almost just need a line right there. And you split off to protect Constantinople. Or I suppose we could have you on a garrison order. Your troops, you're protecting more or less the Anatolian coastline. That is what you need to be doing with your time on Coastal Defense Watch. Do not need the cavalry or the better infantry. I might move those away later. You, on my... mostly just look after Georgia, but I suppose just look after Van, Yerevan, here, and here. And Erzurum. Mostly focusing on... yeah, that seems good. You can be one big army for now. Any mountain generals? Let's distribute our generals. Any mountain generals? Mountaineers? Here we go. Mustafa Mughali Pasha. He can take care of that. You, I want you to have the best general because you'll be up against Bulgaria, which will probably kick off soon. But those are... I'll give him this guy. Or maybe our veteran cavalryman, Veteran Pasha. But you definitely need a good defender. I'll give you this guy. That'll do. That'll do. Up here, you're a mostly defensive force. Just looking after Anatolia. You can have a defensive general of some type. A good one, but mostly defensive one. That's an attack war hero. Artillery, promotion cost. Engineer war hero. Cautious, politically connected war hero. That sounds like the kind of man who would have a defensive position like that. You already got yours. You could use, in case war breaks out up here, you could use a logistic wizard. Politically connected, loyal to the Sultan. I'm thinking the army of Mesopotamia should be given this guy. With you... yeah. You are 13th army, can get that guy. 2nd army can get that guy. 4th army down by the coast, he can have maybe somebody else. Maybe Fortress Buster? We don't know really any forts down there. A winter specialist? Where on earth are we going to use a winter specialist? You can have... not him. You can have that guy. River specialist, that's pretty good for you. You and the Levant, you're a pretty good, important sector. I'll give you, because all the troops down there do not do anything unless the Levant holds. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Now you, in Africa, now African theater is definitely low priority. Turkey gets the high priority. Piata, Mesopotamia. You're just chilling. Chill in Basra. You chill in Baghdad, and chill in Baghdad. You chill in Mosul, up in Kurdistan area. You need a general. I think your plan was up here, like connecting here. I think that was your plan. You can have that guy, he's pretty good. You want a battle plan around here, protecting Medina and also giving us an attack plan to Halil. Any more desert foxes or... no, we can have him. You, let's look after Mecca. Get yourself war hero. Chill in Mecca. You look after Tripoli for now. And give yourself... I could have spared you some more desert foxes, but you can have him. You are just the Benghazi garrison. You will likely not do very well. War hero infantry commander. Yeah, just give him this guy. They're probably going to fall. They're probably going to die. Probably not going to have a good time. Everything's going to be bad for them. Nothing's going to be good. Everything sucks. Just checking all my values. All right, that's the army set up. Oh, I guess Levant didn't get a general. Kemet Pasha. Confirm comfy Ottoman stream. Yeah. Nicely to comfy. I am very comfy. I'm wearing some pajamas. For my girlfriend's family's Thanksgiving dinner, we are going to be wearing pajamas. So I got my pajamas on. She just bought them for me, so I was trying them on, and I'm like, I'll stream anyway. In here, wait, what the hell? I can show leader details? Let's see, another kind of just a guy to get out of the way. I think that's good. Make sure everybody got generals. You could use a general, but could you though? A fortress buster, just chilling out in Constantinople. I think that'll do fine. Ooh, yes, yes indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna go have it at a Grange. Let's check on our Air Force, and oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, it's so shit. Okay, everybody come over to Constantinople. This is not a lot to work with, but it's what we have to work with. Let's go to our navies here. So we got some very basic, very, 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 very basic. Not even any armor. Okay. So your coastal defense ship. Oh, that's why. You're not actually a cruiser, light cruiser. You're actually a coastal defense ship, which makes you very slow. Now, does that bring down the speed of my battle cruiser? No, because it's even slower somehow. Somehow it's even slower. We got some destroyers. Again, also pretty shit. We got a scouting fleet made up entirely of destroyers. They're not very good at that. We got a Valkyrie era cruiser hull. Is this another Ottoman geography? The Kanakal class. It's just a heavy cruiser. Could be used for scouting roles or for trade interdiction, maybe. We got a small flotilla of submarines we could use. And we got a small fleet out in the Persian Gulf. Now, I don't know the level of intel. Let's see. Ships, much stronger than your fleet. My flotilla is probably on par with whatever you got there for ships. Yemen, Muscat, yeah, and nobody else really got anything. Bulgaria has some ships. Greece is probably my biggest rival for ships. I mean, Ukraine is, but Ukraine is a part of the Reichspakt. The Reichspakt is much bigger than me. We're not really worried about that. So in here, I'm kind of more interested in seeing what kind of... We got the coastal defense ships. I could set them apart and they could be used for bombarding while I set the other ships around. Maybe I can have another Kanakal class, because that one at least is somewhat reliable. There's not a whole lot in here that I'm very much against. Maybe just the fact the engine's pretty low, but that's about as good as we got. We do not have the facilities in order to create our own Sultan class. We only have 34 convoys, so I think I will put at least one into convoys. And then maybe the next 2 can be spent on building up a Kanakal class. Which will be done in 1945, but that's just because we're low on everything. Everything in the world. We can get from the Russian for, let's see, steel? What can I get? Do I have any subjects that can give me steel? No. Do I have any subjects that can give me rubber? No. Aluminum? No. Oil? I can get 1 from Yemen. My subjects suck. They are awful. I should really be trying to sell as much chromium as I possibly can. I export 136 right now. That's probably the best we're going to do. I can get from Hungary. Well, who do I figure to be my ally? My natural enemies are Egypt, Persia, Arabia winner, and Russia. Then my secondary natural enemies is actually Germany, unless I side with them, because I would like control over Georgia and Azerbaijan for local dominance. I have some rivalry with the Austro-Hungarians because I want more influence in the Balkans. I have some natural disdain against the Entente because I would like more influence over North Africa, and that's where the French live. I would have basically no misgivings against the Commune of France or the International, because our interests really don't our interests don't line up, but they also don't go against each other. So I think I might look for Commune of France backing. For that, for tungsten, 1 is not enough. 3 is enough to worry about. I can get it from Brazil. I can get it from Germany. Aluminum, I could get from Serbia. I could back the Serbs, or I could get it from the Commune of France. Just, I won't be able to construct anything, but that's until I'm done building my agency. I think that'll be fine. I think that'll be just fine. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope you all have nice plans. Want to tell me your plans for Thanksgiving, if you don't mind? I think that'd be nice. Resistance is high up here in Yerevan. Oh boy. Occupied territories. We have set standard to military governor, which seems excessive. I think especially areas like Kurdistan could probably go down to at least like a local police force or something. Maybe civilian oversight. No, probably not civilian oversight. But military governor seems excessive. We'll probably leave it for now, just until we see how bad it gets. Because I know it will be getting bad, and now after 30 minutes, I think we can finally actually get going. Let me just come in here. Yep, you take that. You take that. You with your fleet. Just, he has a cool hat. I'll give it to him. You guys chill out. Everybody just do your regular missions. And automatic split off enable, so you don't waste all my time. Then in here, I want to switch this one down to the bottom, so you take priority. Switch this one around 1. Okay, that's good. Let us get going. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Funny that some of this goes in front of the others. The Ottoman Empire before the Weltkrieg. The Ottoman Empire, once one of the greatest empires in history, saw its decline commence in the late 18th century, developing to the point of being known as the sick man of Europe. By the early 20th century, an inability to effectively industrialize, constant foreign meddling in its affairs, and the troubling hold on a lot of its provinces meant that the Ottoman Sultanate had fallen back well behind the European powers by 1876. Nonetheless, the Ottomans reformed, and despite the challenges they pose on a local level, where tribal issues and corrupt bureaucracy reign supreme, light could be seen. Promoted by Mahmud II in the early 19th century and further persuaded by the young Ottomans, radical changes were introduced in the empire. Land ownership were reintroduced, restructured, janissaries were eradicated, the central rule re-established in regions such as Mosul and Al-Hassa, and the constitution promulgated. What? Okay, now I am known to use some weird vocabulary. I don't know what promulgated is. The focus on these reformers were based on the ideas of Ottomanism. The attempted to deposit a common identity for all inhabitants besides their local one, which would not be enough. With Abdul Hamid II's rise to power, a change would come once more. Under the pretense of the Russo-Turkish War, the constitution was abolished and the parliament sent packing. This period saw the radical centralization of power under the figure of the Sultan Caliph. With a constant threat by Christian powers, the Sultan turned towards pan-Islamism based on the prestige of the Caliphate. Despite enjoying great success from the Muslim population, this would hasten the departure of the territories without these. Furthermore, this absolute rule fostered great discontent amongst the population, increasingly became familiar with Western ideas. This resistance would consolidate itself in the Committee of Union and Progress. The coup d'etat in 1908 made Ottoman politics, long suppressed by the Sultan, burst into the open. Dozens of parties would attempt to find a seat in the newly restored parliament. As it seemed the Ottoman decline was finally at its end, united democratic forces would not last and saw a split between the decentralists and the centralists through a tumultuous 5 years. These two sides would battle for control in 1913 with a raid on Sublime Port. The game was up. The centralists, with significant public figures of the three pashas, would eradicate all remaining power of the decentralists and shape the nation in their image. Under great threats by the imperialists, and Ottoman strengthened ties with Germany. Interesting. Skip to 1931. Just let me play already. Okay. I'll figure out what happened during the Weltkrieg. The Ottoman Empire officially entered the Weltkrieg on October 29, 1914, with the arrival of Wilhelm Sochen, with the Goeben and the Breslau and the shelling of Odessa. The Ottomans had won several significant victories in the early years of the war, with the Battle of Gallipoli and the Siege of Kut, but there were setbacks as well. The disastrous Caucasus campaign against the Russians. Disaster continued in 1916 with the start of the Arab Revolt, combined with a new British offensive under the command of General Edmund Allenby. Coming to a head in 1918, devastating defeats in Palestine led to a mass retreat of Ottoman forces. Jerusalem, Damascus, and Aleppo fell quick to succession, as only the controversial decision of the commander of the Sixth Army to withdraw the mountains of Anatolia was able to stop the chain reaction. A valiant defeat at Antep and a Pyrrhic victory near Maras ultimately stopped Allenby in his tracks. At that point, the atmosphere of the empire was rapidly changing. The Ottoman government realized that even a victory would come at a cost. Furthermore, the change that happened in the palace as well. The CUP puppet Mehmet V had passed away, and in his wake followed the far more assertive Vahdettin. Seeing the collapse of his empire on all fronts, and with the CUP government held responsible for the disaster, so message held for review. Something in Cyrillic. Oh boy, I wonder what that could be. I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Something. Instigation of the Demo Pasha, attempts to shut down the Sultan, harsh famine in Constantinople due to the refusal of the German forces to supply it with Ukrainian grain, the betrayal of the Caucasus by its allies, and attempted silencing of the Sultan, and rumors that the commander of the Sixth Army was in open conflict with the Ministry of War would finally tip the bucket over with a massive wave of anti-German and pacifist fervor. The cabinet in Talat Pasha was forced to resign and concede to the Sultan. Ahmet Kervik Pasha was appointed Grand Vizier and tasked with the creation of a government of the national unity under the pressure of the CUP, whose unwillingness to lift their grasp on power negotiations collapsed. Ahmet Kervik Pasha resigned and was replaced by Ahmed Izzet Pasha, creating a government consisting of Kabet Bey, Ferit Pasha, Rauf Pasha, and people becoming a CUP of far defeated. Interesting. The fall of Greece and the growing risk of revolt in the British Protectorate of Egypt caused Allenby to revise his strategy and withdraw part of his forces as France collapsed in late 1919. The war entered its closing stages. In the contrast to the Western Front, however, the Austrian forces pushed into Italy and Germany, into France and Belgium. The Ottomans at this vital moment had lost half its empire, either occupied or readily vulnerable to the concerted British attack, and were held up by the British forces unlikely to stand down. Sultan Vahdettin held review hidden by Ryan Francis. Thanks, Ryan. Love you, boo. Open negotiations with the British in an attempt to salvage what remained of its empire, whilst Britain reconsidered its attitude in the Middle East. With the Treaty of Copenhagen ceasefire later that year, demanding immediate withdrawal for all forces, Entente forces from the territory of Central Powers, a rapid solution for the Eastern question was necessary. Further trouble in the British in Egypt, Afghanistan, and occupied Iraq ultimately forced their hands, and the order was given to withdraw. Only Palestine and the Vilayet of Basra would remain under occupation in instance of the Jan Smuts, and Leo Amari, until an acceptable treaty was reached according to the defense of its minorities, masking their intentions of an Indian-based in Iraq and a fortified position near the Suez, with ultimately its political climate of the Ottoman Empire the punishment of the perpetrators of the Armenian massacres far from likely. International opinion shifted away from the empire, losing much of its support from the Central Powers. An accord was reached in the summer of 1920, where in two autonomous regions were established to anger both Turks and Arabs. The Mustafat of Jerusalem was created in Palestine. No Russia. Unless it was secretly Ukrainian. Bum, bum, bum. I can't tell the difference. They both use Cyrillic. Stretching from Allenby Line to the Red Sea. This de jure part of the Ottoman Empire was to be governed by the International Council, consisting of German Empire, British Empire, and Austro-Hungarian Empire. The USA and the Ottomans themselves. Forbidding the entry of the Ottoman troops and international gendarmerie force would maintain the peace in the Palestine. In the Vilayet of Basra, a new home for the creation of the Assyrian peoples, whose exodus from the plains of Nineveh and Lake Urmia had left refugees in the Iran openly hostile with ambitions. Next, after the Weltkrieg. Ooh, this one's going long, boys. What do they think this is, TNO? As formal peace finally arrived in 1919, the borders of the Ottoman Empire had largely remained the same. The Oblast of Kars, and Ardahan were recovered in the addition of Yerevan, while in the Aegean, the Italians were pushed out of the Dodecanese. The damage of the immense, however, as through the actions of the CUP, especially Jejumajal Pasha, tensions between Turks and Arabs had burst to the open, whilst in eastern Anatolia and Mount Lebanon, whose populations were eradicated either through forced deportation or starvation, losses on the Turkish side had been colossal as well, leading to underpopulation and sharp decline in agricultural output in the nation's main source of income. Although the Arab revolt had been a colossal failure, the need for reform was recognized. Entering the Arab Congress in 1913, the Arabic language was recognized as the second language of the empire. Following increasing factionalism within the CUP and the meteoric rise of many military figures tore away from the internal stability of the party. The betrayal by its German allies in Palestine gave rise to a substantial anti-German faction. As public opinion of the party declined even further, the CUP changed its name to the Tesadut. I don't know how to pronounce it. Tekadut. Openly ousted some of the dictatorial figures within. Nemjel Pasha went packing, while Talat's influence had greatly reduced. Working with him to position the minister, Mustafa Kemal Pasha. Mustafa Kemal, okay. Ousted the Mustafa Kemal. So that's his real name. Ataturk is his nickname because it means the father of Turkey. So Mustafa Kemal Pasha ousted the German military mission and commenced an ambitious military restructuring, receiving great acclaim for his actions. Kemal continued laying the foundation for his rise to power. Fearing another Enver Pasha, the upper committee of the party pushed Kavit Bey forward as its leader. Incapable of successfully challenging him, Kemal made a lucky bid for power in 1925. The party changed its name to the Ottoman People's Party. In 1926 elections and the victory of the OHF, I don't know which party that is, there were many quick to remark that there was less due to the party itself and more due to the fragmentation of the opposition, where among the dozens parties fought for any given seat, the newly appointed Grand Vizier did not hide his ambitions, and in a flurry of reforms he pushed the nation towards his ideals. Massive strides were undertaken in the areas of education, economic recovery, and the fight against religious establishment. The authoritarian style of the Grand Vizier, however, led to a further splintering of the party, with his former ally and friend Kazim Karabekir Pasha broke from the party and created his Democratic Party. Under threat of the rapid centralization of the government apparatus and with many conservatives afraid of the OHF may be attempted to break within tradition, the 1931 elections ended in the first electoral defeat for the OHF. The Ottoman Party for Administrative Decentralization, under its leader Haki al-Zam, became the grand winner of the elections and formed a coalition of the HIF and the DF to provide a united front against the growing centralist threat. The coalition, however, was under constant attack, and the various parties had played the part in conflicting opinions of the non-OHF policy. Why did they all have to end with F? Tensions reached a breaking point in the late 1932 with the government of Haki al-Azam collapsed due to disagreement with the HIF and the DF. A new government was created under HIF leadership, but the minority government failed to achieve its goals of decentralization and liberalization. The continued failures of the coalition went a long way to repairing the reputation of OHF, which received a small majority in the 1935 elections as Grand Museum. Mustafa Kemal Pasha began his second term in office. Signs of starting to appear. He maybe look for an alternative to the constant obstruction of the Ottoman Chamber of Deputies and Influences. Interesting. Oh my god. Okay, we're on the other side. Mustafa Kemal Pasha is our current leader. Jesus. Or should I say, Mohammed? Let us get going, for the love of God.